This is where I might lose some followers, so let me tell you about my one-sided beef with Becca Day. And I say one-sided because I'm sure she has no idea that I exist. I gotta run down to go get my blood pressure medicine, so let's have a little story time on why, as a survivor of human trafficking, I can't stand Becca Day. This was not only my case, but I was one of the main people that helped make this case, and I testified on the stand. He's doing 30 years. I'm telling you guys that because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I feel like if somebody creates a following where they have over 1 million followers and it's mainly about human trafficking and the Epstein files, why the fuck wouldn't you actually take a training course to understand what human trafficking really is, so you don't spread harmful rhetoric like the core four? Let me put my phone on the stand. I'd love to tell Becca that it's part of the business model of a human trafficker to have trafficking victims help in the ring. That's how it's done. But when Becca discusses the Epstein files, anybody who actually participated in the ring, she demonizes. I'd love for her to demonize me because I had to drive women back and forth from Maine to Miami. So what, Becca? What? So my story doesn't matter? I'm not a victim? One of the women that she calls her core four was actually kidnapped when she was like 15 years old and sold into sex slavery. That was her whole life. You end up getting like a weird Stockholm syndrome type thing with your abuse. One of the biggest questions is, well, why didn't you just run? Well, because they have all your documents. I have other posts up where I've been shot, stabbed, strangled. I had my throat cut. That's why my voice is like this. It just frustrates me because if you don't actually understand what human trafficking is, then you're villainizing it. And she's using a platform of 1 million people to basically villainize trafficking survivors, because I don't know one survivor that wasn't asked to participate in her trafficking ring. Not one. It's quite literally the business model. And Becca really needs to take some sensitivity training. She needs to take some training with human trafficking centers. She needs to start putting phone numbers up at the end of her posts where people who are still in human trafficking can get help if she wants to be monetized and make money off of human trafficking. That's what bothers me, is that they're creating a career for themselves out of other people's pain and suffering and highlighting the sensational parts. But in actuality, they're highlighting other crimes, kidnapping, this, that, and the human trafficking is quite literally when somebody forces you or coerces you under threat to do what they want. That can include labor. It's not just sexual thing. So while, yeah, Becca does share some good information, she also makes it so a legion of women don't even want to come out and share their stories because now they feel like they're going to be villainized for participating in the ring. So Aaron Parnas refuses to share anything without a Zionist twist. So that's why I kind of have an issue. He didn't say anything about the Al Jazeera journalist that was killed by Israeli drone strike that just happened in Gaza. Did he say anything about the 6-month ceasefire when Gaza? I hope you guys still follow me after you heard that shit. Because, yeah, Parnas and Becca are not my favorites. Amanda, love her.